Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. That was the worst performance of the season so far. That was absolutely crap. No ifs, buts and maybes. That was crap. Where the hell do I even start with this performance? Gabriel, Saliba. I think that was Gabriel's man. So poor defending for that goal with Isaac. Isaac is 6'4". How the hell do you miss that guy running into the box? If there was a tactic on who the one player is that you need to make sure that you keep an eye out for, especially if they were to cross the ball in, it's Isaac and also Dan Burn, but especially Isaac, because that guy is lethal in the box. 3 goals in 8 games for Isaac. Newcastle have been on a winless run, and who is the team to give them some hope? Look no further than Arsenal bloody Football Club. Honestly, this was in the works for weeks to come, and there were so many chances that we missed. Rice missed a couple, Martinelli missed some, Marino missed some more, and you know what? I have to take back my claim when I said that this is the best defense in Europe. We're not. We've been conceding far too many goals over the last couple of games against Bournemouth, against Leicester. It's just ridiculous that we're conceding so many goals. Okay, fine, away from home, this is our 2nd consecutive loss. We've been undefeated throughout the whole year, but this is absolutely pathetic. The fact that we only had forget the fact that we had 0 shots in the second half. We were 1-0 down in 13 minutes and no one was able to have a shot. Nobody, not Saka, not Martinelli, not Trossard, not Havertz. And the thing is that there's been a little trend that started since Liverpool, right? And we put Trossard up top and we put Havertz in the midfield, because over the last couple of games when Odegaard got injured, Havertz wasn't able to perform as well as what he normally does. And with Trossard, he's been on bad form as well. And Arteta thought, you know what, let me switch it and put Trossard up top and Havertz in the midfield. Against Liverpool in the first half, that looked okay. It looked pretty decent, but that's not going to work against every team. And there's some uncomfortable trends I'm seeing with Arteta that we also need to talk about in this video. But what I will say is this: Trossard has been humbled like nothing before. He has been humbled to such a degree where it's absolutely horrific. The guy did that celebration within the first couple of games in the season, and since then, I have to admit, it's been poor. And the minute that Odegaard comes back, we have to look at Trossard and say, thank you very much. You've covered the position the best that you could. You need to get back on the bench, mate. You are the best 12th man in the league and you have to stay as that. Because the performances that I've seen, he's not good enough to be in the starting 11 for Arsenal Football Club. I'm sorry, he's not. Last season, he came on when Martinelli was in horrific form, but we have to be honest and we have to say that Trossard being in the 11 isn't good enough for Arsenal Football Club to win the title. And with Kai Havertz, look, at Chelsea, he's been playing centre forward, cam, and we have to ask ourselves, right? When Havertz first came into the club and when he was playing the 8 in the first half of last season, everyone has said that it's not been good enough. He's not great in that position. It was a flop signing. So why did Arteta take him out of the striker position and putting him into cam? He's trying to compensate for losing Martin Odegaard. But here's the thing: you do not fix something that isn't broken. If the guy is doing good at top, keep him up top. There are certain positions on the field you do not change, and Kai Havertz up top, it was fine. You didn't need to fix it. You didn't need to put him in the cam or anything. You could have stuck it more on Trossard and just said, you know what, we'll just wait until Kai Havertz come back and just go, when Martin Odegaard comes back, and we'll just go from there. But no, you decided to put Havertz back in the midfield. If it didn't work before, how's it going to work now? And yeah, okay, first half against Liverpool, fantastic, but that's not going to work in games. You know, it's not going to work over 90 minutes, and we've seen it multiple times, and it's clear again, Martin Odegaard, we miss him, and it's sad because he's going to come back fresh from injury and we're going to need him against the game against Chelsea. He had an outside chance of him playing today. He might or may not play against Inter Milan, but against Chelsea we need him back, and I'm not sure how well he's going to play. He's going to be quite rusty, but Arsenal are absolutely desperate. And the subs we made today, Zinchenko and White, when they came on, it was mistakes galore. They were losing the ball. And with Benjamin White, he's, like I said, probably on an injury or something. But with Zinchenko, my God, it's better off just bringing on Miles Lewis Skelly on. The full form grace from Zinchenko is absolutely disgusting. No wonder this guy hasn't been playing on for so long. An 18-year-old getting ahead of him, now we see the reason. Disgrace, man. I don't want to see this guy at my club anymore. And Jorginho. Look, Jorginho, I'll give him the respect he deserves because of what he did last season. Last season, he done well to cover Thomas Partey in the CDM position, the centre mid position. But when you need a goal, he's not the guy you bring on. He's not the guy you bring on. You bring on a goddamn striker or an attacker. And the thing is, Jesus came on, didn't do anything today. We got 0 shots in the second half. What do you expect? You scored against Preston, for God's sake. Like I said, against Preston, they're a lower league side. If anything, that game was supposed to spur you on, get you hyper, get you on the pitch and put you on a run. Because that is the expectations I have for a guy like Gabriel Jesus. For a guy who's on one of the highest wages at the club and he hasn't been performing well enough. And these are the games I need him, or we need him to perform in. And he hasn't been able to do that. Why the hell Raheem Sterling didn't come on, God knows. He should have at least come on ahead of Jorginho, for God's sake, because Martinelli, he wasn't able to do anything today. I'm going to get to Martinelli for a second. But the other signing with Ethan Nwaneri, a lot of people have been calling him to start today. And how sad is it that we've gotten to a point where we're relying on a 17-year-old kid to come in and save Arsenal and to help Arsenal with their title challenge. It's absolutely disgusting. And if there's anyone to blame for this, it's Arteta and it's Edu with the transfer window. I don't want to go on about the transfer window. I really don't want to talk about it, but you see, the thing is that when you have a problem, you need to look at the cause, you need to look at the reason where it's all started. And it all started in the transfer window. The day we got rid of Smith Rowe and Vieira and we didn't bring in an adequate replacement was the day where Arsenal sealed their title hopes. It's as simple as that. And as fans, right, we need to stop treating ourselves as victims. We can't be looking at the referees or 12 p.m. kickoffs or PGMOL and all these other things. It's ridiculous. We need to stop crying. We need to look at the club and see what they're doing. Okay, fine, some decisions have gone against us. But at the end of the day, Roy Keane was right in his comments. He was absolutely right. Even with 10 men, even with whatever, you as a team fighting in the title race need to find a way to get it done. And champions don't make excuses. They just find ways to get it done. And so far, over the last couple of games, Arsenal haven't been able to do that. It's as simple as that. Partey at right back. I don't want to see this guy play right back. And Arteta is overdoing the positions. I get you want to bring players that play multiple positions and play all over the pitch and do all this diverting all this random ass nonsense. But at the end of the day, Thomas Partey is probably one of our best players in the midfield and has played very well in the midfield. Mikel Moreno didn't look that well today. And I get that Partey did well against Liverpool, but that doesn't mean he's going to be the answer moving forward. Thing is, the players that are meant to play in the position, like, I don't know, Ben White or Zinchenko, should be playing there instead of Thomas Partey. Why is it that we're doing this makeshift nonsense? Putting players in makeshift positions is never ever going to work. You're not going to win a title like this. And Patrice Evra is right about Arsenal, especially that Netflix comment that he was talking about, how Arsenal always look into the next season. And this is something I want to comment about with Kroenke and Wenger. Thing is, why am I going to bring these two guys up? Over the last couple of seasons, when Wenger was in charge, especially over in the last 10 years that he was there, Arsenal always made sure they lacked something, whether it be they missed a striker or they missed a defender or they missed a midfielder when it came to the transfer window, because it always kept the conversation going. They always left that excuse where, oh, you know what, next season will be our chance because, oh yeah, we didn't get this player in the market, so once we get this player in the market, then we can do something. And this season, in this transfer window, we're doing this again. Why? Because this is something that the Kroenkes want to do. This window, we spent a net spend of £20 million loss. That is absolutely pathetic for a team that's trying to go for the title. You got rid of your attacking midfield depth for your CDM positions essentially, and you basically stagnated the club. We haven't improved at all. We haven't gone anywhere. We're 4 points worse than what we were with the teams that we played against. And the thing is, as Arsenal fans, we need to keep an eye on the Kroenkes, because they tried this with Wenger, and a lot of people had a lot of respect for Wenger at the time, and they allowed him to get away with this sort of stuff in the way that we go about in the transfer window. But we need to keep an eye on them, because the way that they did this transfer window was absolutely disgusting. It wasn't right. And there needs to be questions on Arteta as well. 5-6 years, man, without able to win a major honours. And he's showing symptoms that Wenger had. And the thing is that he's taking a lot of time to learn from his mistakes. But we're at a point now, 5 to 6 years in, where we need to say, look, man, you need to go out there and win a major honour. And it's taking too much time to make changes and to find ways to solve certain issues. And the thing is, it's showing hella naivety, a lot of naivety. Because how can you go into the season getting rid of your attacking midfield depth and expect to play out the rest of the season and challenge for the title? It doesn't make any sense. And this is the thing, right? I want to judge our title chances properly when we're halfway through the season, because that's when we can actually see how far we are off the top, or whether we're close to the top, or whether we get somewhere. But for me today, it doesn't feel like Arsenal can win the title. We might be in a race, possibly, maybe, depending on our run, but I don't see it. And the reason why I don't see it is due to performances like this. 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. I don't want to talk about the ref. I don't care about the goddamn refs. I care about what's going on in Arsenal. And Liverpool with Arne Slot ahead of us. Arne Slot literally just came into the club. They have an aging team. No one really thought they were going to do much, but look, they're there. Man City, without their Ballon d'Or player who has an ACL injury, is out for the rest of the season, and KDB is literally about to come back fully fit in the next game. They haven't had KDB as much. And what are we doing? We're literally missing chance after chance. Man City dropped points today. How many times are they going to drop points? Not much. I can tell you that right now. And this is the thing, right? I don't want to look at next season or the season after that when we get a striker or we get this player, that player. No, we need to look at it now. This season, Arteta needs to find a way this season to try and win the title, or to try and win some sort of major honour, whether it be the Champions League or the Premier League. FA Cup, okay, but that's not good enough, because you've had multiple chances. We've had multiple years going through these title races and going through these transfer windows and spending God knows how much money. You need to find a way, mate. It's as simple as that. And but before I forget, Martinelli. Look, man, last season was an off season, okay, but Saka and him have started at the same time. I need to see him go up a level now. I need to see you be the talisman, the guy to take this club up, because so far from what I've seen this season, it doesn't look like he improved as much. And last season we blamed it on Xhaka leaving and we blamed it on this and that. Look, sometimes we just need to look at the player in that position and ask him, why is he not doing enough? 2 goals, 2 assists in 10 games, not good enough. And the thing is, I looked at the Ballon d'Or rankings, and I think Martinelli, with the projection that he had, should be up there, but he's not. And that's not, I'm not giving any hate or anything like that, but I need to see a hell of a lot more from him this season, and we need to have tough conversations and whether or not we need to improve and go ahead even further. Honestly, absolutely pathetic performance today. The title is nearly and truly gone. I'm not expecting anything more to come from this season regarding it. Maybe we might be able to go to a run. We're going to have to see what we do at the halfway point, but I'm not convinced at all by what I've seen today. Absolutely pathetic. Anyhow, that is my thoughts on the game. Hopefully, hope to see you all soon in the next video. Please put your comments and thoughts in the comments below, and let's see what these guys have to do. Absolutely shameful, pathetic. Anyway, bye bye.